It's Friday Night Live with your host, your brother Nico, and the Free, and recently escaped from the basement, Hoodies. And now for the car wreck of the show, welcome to the Cross and Fizz.
And we are presumably live? We are live! We are
It helps
alive!
to unmute myself. What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos.
And I'm Freak, and welcome to the show! Show.
It is so good to see you guys. We've got many more Brian in the chat. We've got Egan in the chat.
Hello!
You know, I've been meaning to say this for a while. We've had Greg and Ashley on before, and they are always lovely to work with. We've never had you on this show, man. You ever get a Friday night free and you want to jump on, brother, let us know. We'll set something up. But good to see you all. And then, of course, Brian, you know, I know you've got your own kind of show that you do on Fridays sometimes, but you are always welcome to join us, brother. Big shout out. Brian not only is, of course, mini warm-up here. You've seen, you may have seen my video, you may have seen his videos. He's doing a massive paint challenge this month. And it's catching on. It's got so many people on it. In fact, he's got a whole, like, PowerPoint screen just kind of full of everybody taking part in the challenge. There's so many people in on this. And after, echo.
That was me, that was because of me.
Okay.
Me. Derail.
He started up his own live show last week with him laying down some paint. His guest was escaping me. No, just Mythos is echoing. No, yeah, it's apparently me.
Was that?
Mythos is echoing hard.
Weird. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Let me switch it to my headset.
Yes, we have been doing this live show for about 5 years now, and yes, we will have techno challenges every
What? Techno challenges? This is that you speak of. This is nothing but professionalism. We have no techno challenges, sir. There we go. All right, I don't think you should be getting any kind of echo now. It's because you were feeding into my my camera microphone is what it was.
What about now, beautiful people?
I need to change the microphone here. Hold on.
Okay.
Audio. Change that to Xperia. And now they should hear my lovely sultry voice through my microphone.
Hello. Okay, so mic check from me. Mic check from you.
Oh, he says start over. All right, fine. Hold on. All right, enough of that crap. All right.
It's Friday
Night Live with your host, that guy. Wait.
And the Free. And recently
He not here.
from the basement, Hoodies.
He gone.
And now for the car wreck of the show, Welcome to the Cross and Fizz.
And we're live.
What is up, beautiful people? It's your brother Rico.
And I'm Freak. And welcome to the show.
It's good to see you again, guys. You know, as if I hadn't started this.
It's like deja vu, you know? I feel like I've been here.
But we are so excited to hang out with you guys tonight. We're going to do some painting, some chatting. We'll talk about some of the updates this week, and we will get into it. But it's so good to see you guys. We've got I Like Games. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, yeah, because we like games, too.
While we've got I Like Games here to answer their earlier question. Do you have your sheet form thing for his, so that way he could do his donation?
Yes. Yeah. I can put the link on. Hold on, let me... Hold on, let me see if I can find it here.
Yeah, we've got a link that'll set us up with you so that way we can get in touch and exchange addresses without being, all over the interwebs.
Yeah.
Mini Warmutt, so good to see you. If you guys have not seen it last week, I put out a video saying I was entering Mini Warmutt's Great Mini Paint Challenge of 2023. And he's doing a big old challenge. It's covering, like, the name of channels that he's working with, covers a whole screen. He's getting a lot of traction on it, and it is going to be awesome. We're all going to lay some gray, put some pigment down, and get some stuff painted up. So really great seeing the community come together for stuff like this. Go check out Mini Warmutt's channel and follow the paint challenge from there. And also last week after our show, he did a live show with one of his friends and channels that he frequently works with. And keep an eye out, because you never know when Mini Warmutt may throw on another live chat like that. And he was on Gamers with Coffee's live stream last week.
Nice.
We've got all three members of Gamers with Coffee here. We've got Keegan, we've got Ashley, we've got Greg. Good to see you all. We've got Brother Oni in the chat. I hope Moonstone went well tonight, my brother.
Hope you didn't moon anyone. Maybe a little.
Thank you so much, Freak. I Like Games, there is our link that you can use to reach out to us. That way we can exchange addresses. And
anybody can, absolutely. If you're in the chat and you're not sure how to get a hold of us and to be able to get the ball rolling on donations and stuff, just click on that link, and that will absolutely help us to kind of text you, message you, email, whichever is easiest for you. And it's a little more kind of a secure. We don't want to put anything out like Mitha says. We don't want to put it out on the internet or anything like that. So we don't want any of our private addresses and them out. So, but yes, if once you fill that information, it'll send me an email, and then we'll go ahead and reach out to you guys. So all good.
I Like Games. I'm always happy to be challenged to a game. And trust me, I can get my butt kicked, okay? I didn't go tonight. I actually forgot. It's all good, man. Let us know how the next one goes. Need to get to the bench. Ashley kicking butt in the challenge. Nice. Kicking my butt, too.
Fight.
When we get to our poke chop, I'll show you how little I've done this week. There's Hellworks by Hellchild in the chat. Hellchild has spoiled me this week, hooking me up with a Diablo 4 so that way I could play with him, with Brother Freak, with my wife. Super generous. And I may not have gotten a lot painted this week, but I did make it to level 22. These things are very, very there's no relationship between these things.
And the Hellchild set us up with a with his own what do you call it, league? What is it?
Oh yeah, Escalation League. Yeah.
Not Escalation League.
You mean the guild?
Guild, yes. Call it Lunatic Balls. It's kind of funny because my server for the Conan game is called Freaks Privates. Fitting.
I think it's just called the Lunatic's Ball. I don't think it's actually called the Balls.
I think it is. I think that's what I read. Lunatic Balls. What?
I'm looking at the chat right now. We are the Lunatics Ball. Eh?
Oh, okay. I must have read it wrong.
Thank you so much, Hellchild. I've really been enjoying it. One day,
Lunatic Balls is okay too.
I may have hyper focused, and in one day I managed to get just north of level 20 and just past the group there, the boss fight where the beta came to a close. When you track down the young lady's mother, and yeah, so I bypassed everything from the beta in one day. So it's been awesome. I like Game says I ain't competitive. I'm just on a kick right now. I have like 6 orc dreads, even though I can only field 3. Awesome. Hey man, if you were playing me, I'm super kitchen table rules. So we love to do house rules. Like if you want to do a theme dread game, man, bring your dread bob. You can field all 6 of them.
Bring your grandma. I'm sorry, I'm mishearing things again. I sound like you said bring your grandma. I don't know why you want to bring her. I mean, unless she's really good at, gaming. Which there are some elderly people that pretty badass. Just saying.
Brother Steve says, "Oh no, you don't want to beat Mythos in any game. He'll send me to beat you in a game." Okay, I guess we can start with that with our pork chop. We had a hangout day on Labor Day this past Monday. We all celebrated Labor Day, which means those of us in America here, most of us got a free day off work, and so the 3 of us got together to hang out. We went with my beautiful family. We all went to a Chinese buffet. We came back to my place. Brother Oni did a demo game of Conquest for us. And man, the system itself was fun and kind of intuitive, easy to pick up. But I got my butt handed to me hard. And after I got beat there, Brother Freak asked Oni, because Oni had expressed, he hadn't gotten in a game of 10th edition yet. So he said, "Hey, you got him in? You want to do a demo game? We'll just play something small, like 500 points." And so I was just trying to be nice, and because Custodes are the one army that Oni and I both enjoy, both collect and own, I was trying to be nice, and so I took down my Custodes and I put together a little 550 point, army. That's
the story that he's going with, y'all.
And I said, "Here you go. Here are Custodes, which you should be familiar with." And Custodes do what they do, and
yeah. So here's the funny part about it, guys. Truth be told, Oni gave me, unbeknownst to me at the time, I had no idea that the unit that he gave me to play. Remember, this is just a demo game, and he gives me one of the strongest units to play, which are the dwarves, the dwarves, right? The Dweom, and I'm like, okay, I had no idea, but they were really cool, and I really wanted to play them. I had no idea that they're pretty tough, and he gave me those the not so tough ones. Well, of course, I mean, my dwarves kicked some serious Mythos butt.
Yeah, they did.
And it was quite decided. It was a decisive victory. Well, all of a sudden, I say, "Hey, you said you wanted to maybe get a game in of 10th, just to try it out. No pressure." And then all of a sudden, I said, "Mythos, you got anything he can use?" I don't know, maybe thinking me Space Wolves or something. Nah. Mythos very carefully and diligently and with so much care and love starts pulling down his Custodes. Now, his Custodes haven't been played in a while, and of course, they had a little bit of dust on them. So there's Mythos, just doing this. He's got this brushing and brush. Yeah, you're gonna murder Freak really well. That's for kicking my ass in. Yeah, in that game. So Conquest, yeah, screw that guy. Okay, so Oni, here's your army. I mean, they were so spotless, so nice and pristine. Had the whole army ready to go. Yeah, and oh man, I have no words.
Steve says, "Oh, you're gonna whoop that ass, beat those 2023."
Pretty much,
guys.
Pretty freaking much, man.
Guys, this was not
Don't
a
listen to this
ploy
crap.
for revenge.
Don't listen to this crap. Don't listen to this crap.
You know, I wanted Oni to enjoy the game, so I wanted to give him an army that he had some kind of connection to. I didn't want to just give him a random Space Marine army. And so since he plays Custodes, I just handed him my Custodes. Custodes sound hard to beat. I Like Game says, I filled out the form. I think I did it earlier, so I guess I'm just waiting on an email.
Okay, if you hit submit, it's going to automatically should email me. If not, I'll have to check the email link, because I don't know, should come through.
But we will manually follow up on that and make sure it's taken
absolutely.
care of. Thank you so much. Who took my dice? Says so much rage. I think he's referencing our battle report.
Oh.
Glamour Smash Face says forms. Who has forms? We just have. Hold on. We were just talking about the donation process earlier, and so that way, just addresses aren't just going out all over the interwebs.
Yeah.
We just have this link here that we've been putting out to people, to anyone who wants to donate, and then that way, we use the form here to exchange the addresses and whatnot, and we get it all taken care of. I know 2 lunatics that haven't joined the ball yet. Did you finish those TPS reports I asked for? Oh man, my last job I had when I was a safety manager, I really honestly and truly felt like my job was handling TPS reports.
Mm-hmm.
I should start an Insta to share these wild orc things I'm making, but Insta gives me anxiety. That's fair. Yeah, and that's the thing. One of the things that people have shown is that social media can cause those kinds of feelings. So, yeah, if you feel like you're going to, have anxiety or whatever from it, just do as little or as much as you feel that you're comfortable with, my friend. Or, if I can offer you an alternative, you could always send, if you want to share those pictures in a select party. One of the things I can offer is we do something I'm sure you've seen on the show, a little Art of the Week, where we show it to people here in our chat. You could anonymously send your pictures to us by hitting us up on Messenger or email, and then we can show them for you, and it only gets shown to the people in this chat here, to watch this show, and in that way, this could be one way of showing off your work without actually having to start up an account with anything. So if you want to join Art of the Week, feel free. No need, no pressure. But that might be a small step towards you sharing your work.
Yeah, and we again, I think we've said it a couple of times here. If you haven't caught us saying it, we'll say it again. So typically, we celebrate people's their current level at where they're at. So everybody's at a different level painting. Unless you're Brother Rob, with miniature paintbrush. I don't think we've arrived. I mean, these guys are professionals and all that crap. So, but yeah, I mean, we celebrate at all levels, so no worries, man.
Oh, I think it's seeing people's mind-blowing stuff while mine's sloppy.
Oh, that's the fun part, because we get to burn our brushes together. So,
that's one of the things we talk about during it. I got to go. I have to work on my competition piece. Hey, my brain just emptied itself. I was going to say good luck, but
take luck and care of it.
But he's doing his skill. He don't need luck. But Have a good time. Do a great job. Something. I meant to say something positive.
Break a knee.
My brain just started doing the Windows loading symbol, like when we were doing the battle report earlier. Something about a medic.
Oh my God.
Have a nice flight. Enjoy your meal. You too.
You too. Take Luck with it. Take Luck and carrying it with it in it.
Dial up noise. Oh man. I paint in the dark with a brick. And change his name to Anonymous. When I say anonymous, like, you know, I only mean like you don't have to start up an account that says, well, hey, this is me. You know, you're not having to create a profile like on a social media site other than YouTube, I guess. You know what I mean. All right, so we're going to jump into this painting, and while we're painting, Freak, I see you already diligently at work. What you got for a poke shop this week?
So I am actually recording the tutorial because the reason why I hadn't been able to do it was because I had that crazy battle report that I had to finish, and finally I just, you know, bear down on it and knocked it out. And so now I can actually record my tutorial. So I'm basically recording a tutorial on how to paint yellow. So you can see I already have some of it done, and then but I'm recording it with my other camera here.
Nice.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. While I hang out with you guys, let's see how it works out. So, all right.
If you guys haven't seen our battle report yet, big kudos over to Freak, who did such an awesome job with his editing skills. Definitely, I think, took our battle report up a notch. And I think he really did a great job capturing what a fun time we had.
It was a fun time.
So
it really was. Oh my God.
Oh my God. He caught me on camera not being able to breathe.
I have not had him laugh that hard in, like, I don't remember ever hearing him that. I mean, every now and then he'll give a good chuckle, but that was gut-busting chuckle. I thought he was going to die. You know, and in some ways I was kind of hoping he would, because, you know, he wrecked me. He wrecked me. He wrecked me mercilessly. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what? Any minute now. Any minute now. Any minute now. Nope. Hasn't passed out yet. Not done it. Yeah, I was going to win by forfeit, but yeah, it didn't work out that way. So, yeah. But no, man, it was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen it, please go check it out. It was a great battle report, a great game. Yeah, we had some moments. So,
which I think is one of the things. Who took my dice before he left was saying so much rage.
I mean, there was some rage when it wasn't excessive. I wouldn't call it excessive.
I got Brian Reagan jokes on deck. That man is a god.
Yes, he is. Who said that?
Roxy, Glamour Smash Face.
Yes, I love Brian Regan. He's one of my favorite comedians. I quote all his stuff. It's hilarious.
The big yellow one is the sun.
It's the sun. The yellow one is the sun. Boxing.
I like Gabe says, I kind of finished painting 3 Killicans and 4 Death Dreads today.
Oh my goodness.
Painting, but they're looking good. Each part is a random color, though, hurts my eyes. That is the essence of orkiness right there, my friend. Good job.
Indeed.
It's a cup of dirt. Apparently.
I call it... Well, explain it. Well, it's a cup with dirt in it. I love it, man.
My poke chop. Oh, I mentioned I've been playing Diablo.
Oh, yeah, we've been playing Diablo.
Unrelated to my lack of productivity this week. But Been playing with Freak. Freak, last I saw, was like level 28, I think.
No, not that high.
27?
20-something.
You gotta be 27 because you started at 26 when we started playing.
No, it wasn't. No, it was 20. No. It was like 21 or 22, 22, something like that. It was early 23s. I know the number keeps going as I talk, but nonsense.
Definitely 24.
Shut up.
Okay, it was no higher than 25.
No, 28. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, he and I did some playing together, and he's somewhere in the high 20s.
Yeah.
Garrett, howdy. Good to see you, my brother.
Howdy.
I need to clear the tacos off the table. Be right back. Hey, let me give you a hand with that. Nom nom nom.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go for the tacos. Nom nom.
Oh man, I went to hang out with Darklight Dreamer on Sunday, and he grabbed some tacos from across the street. He lives directly across the street from La Mexicana.
Woo.
So freaking good.
The Michoacana?
Yeah.
Hey, you did better than my wife. My wife butchers it all the time. And sometimes I don't know if she does it on purpose or she just ignorant. So she'll say all kinds of crazy stuff, and I find it offensive. I'm not even Mexican.
But yeah, so we had some tacos, played some Diablo.
Nice.
And
Tacos and Diablo, man.
as far as my pork chop goes, so I have actually been the opposite of productive on my painting challenge this week. In fact, I've gone into the negative on my painting challenge this week.
Oh no.
Okay, so here's some of the positive things I did. I got these guys primed and their base coat of blue down. Okay, so they're all nice and McCrag blue. These are my Primaris Intercessors, which a lot of people say the Infiltrators are the best Space Marine troop choice. I love the Intercessors the most. They're -1 AP on their bolt rifles. The fact that they can take a power weapon, they're my favorite.
They're very versatile.
Although I gotta say, rewatching our fight in the battle report earlier today, I feel like using the Infiltrators actually did do, especially you and I were talking about that competitive Space Marine video.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess after watching that, I did see like some utility value in the way that the Infiltrators affected our game that Saturday. Because I was like, by dropping the Infiltrators in the center of the table, you had to deploy your Terminators way further back than you usually.
Yep, exactly.
And then they just sat there on one of the middle objectives, and you weren't able to clear it for half the game. So, I guess like even though like I think the Intercessors are far stronger than them. I think they did their utility was useful. I put the blues down on my Eliminators. They were just primed before. So, yeah, got some color down on them finally. So they're not just black and white like a newspaper. I'm trying to think of what I want to do for their cloaks. Maybe the chat can give some input. But, so normally with my Ultramarines, I do either white cloaks or red cloaks. But being that Eliminators are supposed to be stealth snipers, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe do like a mid-tone gray cloak and with some splotches of maybe some black and white or white and black to give them kind of a, I don't know, stone or urban kind of feel. I don't know. See, the thing is that ideally they're stealth cloaks, right? And so I don't think I'm going to be honest with you, Roxy. I don't think my skill set is good enough for camo. I do have some camo stencils that I could probably airbrush on, but then I can only get one color out of a stencil. I saw Age of Sigmar Dominion box still. Why is the Dominion box still at a good price? Amazon $119. I think it was $150 when it came out, so I think you're getting about a $30 discount. That sounds like a pretty good price.
Oh, dude, that's a good picture. I mean, that's a good good camera angle. Man, they look good there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My friend's hosting a demo day for one-page rules tomorrow. That's partially why I painted so much today. The other reason my friend challenged me to a WoW versus Beastie Boys orcs next weekend. Oh, nice. I love the Beast Nagas. So, yeah. I can do probably a one-tone camo, and I was thinking about maybe doing those stencils and leaving it black with, like, gray camo airbrushed on top with the stencils. I don't know. I don't feel confident enough to do full camo, and also I don't want to do green camo because I don't think I'd like the way green camo looks with bright blue armor. Anyways,
You could do like a grayish blue camo. I've seen that.
Grayish blue, maybe.
Yeah.
Like a Space Wolf grayish blue.
Sort of. Actually, camo with blue. It's like gray blue blocks, or splotches. That actually would go.
Yeah.
Help me, Chad. I think that's.
No, I mean, I know what
that's
you're
right.
talking about. The only thing is, again, I'm not confident on. Take care, Ashley. I'm not confident on my ability to do camo because I've seen a lot of really good camo,
Right.
but I've also seen a lot of really bad camo that just looks like messy paint splotches. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, but I mean, the good thing about camo is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's meant to be kind of chaotic. It's chaotic patterns. It's not any type of specific pattern. It could just be all over as long as you have somewhat similar splotches. They don't have to be exact. I mean, you can put them anywhere.
And that's true. Again, I've seen really bad stuff that just
Sure.
it doesn't look like camo. It looks like splotches of paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. I got you.
So
So I think it's funny because right now you're definitely you're like, it's not something I want to mess with and blah blah blah, and then like 3 days later you're like, hey freak, look what I did. I'm like, I hate you right now.
her city looks really good, really cool. 160 out of Amazon. Whew. I gotta say, the Cursed City, those models are amazing. There's one particular one out that's supposed to be like some kind of, I don't know, vampire hunter, I think. But he looks like a hunter from Bloodborne, which is a video game I really love. And definitely like in my top 10 list of video games. And I think you guys are giving me spend vibes. Stop it. Hey, I'm just saying that it's cool. Okay, for context, I wouldn't pick up Cursed City myself because I know I'm not going to play the game. But one of the minis out of it does look really cool. I mean, all the minis look really cool. One especially I enjoy, but I might just look up to see if I can get an individual of that mini. But he looks like a hunter from Bloodborne. But anyways, yeah. So, see, the thing I've always struggled with is chaotic patterns, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Like lightning, I've never been able to do lightning. It always looks like someone paint spooged,
What?
like it looks like a very blotchy, messy attempt at lightning, like a kindergarten attempt at lightning whenever I do it. I can't. I am not good with chaotic shapes. Like where do you make the forks for the lightning? How do you make it look good and natural? People are like, just make jagged lines, and then make jagged lines. And like, that doesn't look like a bolt of lightning. That just looks like I made jagged lines. Like, so I feel the same way about camo. It's like, I need structure. Okay, I can't.
Yes, you want it to be asymmetric, and it just doesn't look right. If I hear you.
Well, it's not even just like a in my head thing. I mean, you've seen my attempt at Night Lords, right?
Yeah.
I can't paint.
But that was way back. That was way back. That was some time, man. That was moons ago.
So my painting ability has changed. I think my attempt at lightning would still be the same.
Maybe. Okay.
I need to paint. The minis are freaking cool. Who cares about the game? The minis are freaking cool.
Yes, they
Cursed
freaking
City
are.
does have amazing models. All right. So then I added 3 more. So the reason why I say I went into the negatives is because I added 3 more minis to my paint challenge. So when I did my video last week, I already had had gotten these 3 minis back from Brother Oni, who had done the blues and the golds for me, or at least the first 2 steps of the gold. I've since put in another wash, and there was some more gold that needed to be done. And then I layered it up after the wash back with Elven Gold. And then a very, very light dry brush of Lead Belcher, just to kind of give it that shiny look.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've added some depth to the gold. I added the red for like the cloak here. Look at that cloak pop. So I did the cloak. I did Rakarth Flesh here for the purity seals. Color of the wax here. I did the silvers. So yeah, and I did, of course, all the white bits. So yeah, and I chose to go with, on the artwork, Calgar has a blue helmet. I thought doing a veteran white helmet would help the head stand out more, because if you look at the box art, the head kind of gets lost amongst all of the blue armor there. You see how the head just kind of fades into the mini there. I wanted the head to pop out a little more, so I gave him a veteran white helmet instead, which I think, breaks it up a little more.
Giggity.
Bought it. Okay, step away from the keyboard. Nice. I can't wait to see your progress on those Cursed City minis. So anyways, I finished up Calgar. He just needs a couple of things. He needs a decal here on his knee, and a decal here on his backpack. And I've got to finish the basing. So I've got the base for the stonework done. I need to dry brush up a couple of more colors for the stonework, a lighter gray and then a white. Then I need to put down some glue and grass, and he'll be, and then varnish, and he'll be good to go. So I did a lot of painting in this week on this one mini, which I know this is a paint challenge. I should be, cranking them out. But I put a lot of detail into this one mini this week. And I've got him mostly ready to go. Then started a little bit on these guys. Like I said, Brother Oni had put down the blues and golds, and yeah, so I chipped away a little bit at these guys, but I haven't really made much of a thing. Funny thing though, after I painted up Marnius to a point where he was in subassembly, I could start putting him together. I started gluing him together. And then I started gluing these guys together, and I was just going to put their shields on, because I knew it was going to be a pain to do my power effects on the power swords, right? And so I kept telling myself, okay, just glue the shields, leave the sword off so you can do your airbrush. All right, just glue the shields, leave the sword off so you can do the airbrush. So then I finished gluing him together. I finished putting the shields on. And even though I kept telling myself, leave the sword off, so that way you can airbrush the swords, I was on autopilot. By the time I finished gluing this and both shields, that autopilot took over, and I glued both sword arms on. So these swords are going to be a pain in the ass for me to paint. Also, I noticed that at the bottom of the shields, a little too dark, so I think I might come back with another layer of blue, so that way, because the transition is a little stark. I'm going to bring a little more blue to the edge of the shields. But yeah, I can't believe I glued these swords on. I could just leave the sword silver, but these guys are veteran bodyguards to Marnius Calgar, and it would just be a shame if both of them had plain steel swords while everybody else had glowing power swords, and they're supposed to be the veteran bodyguards. So it'll be here Sunday. Your fault, freak. Your fault.
What? What'd I do?
He says it's your fault that he spent the money on this box set.
Ooh.
Just go with it.
Okay, I'll take the blame. Who's blaming me?
Mini Warmut.
Oh, yep, I did it.
When the wifey asks,
you're welcome.
Take one for the brother.
Got it.
They're looking good, Mythos. Thank you so much. So yeah, that is my progress. I put down some blues, the base blues here, the blues with highlights over here.
And that's what they call it, the blues.
Yeah, bass blues,
Nah.
blues with
Sorry.
highlights over here, and then I worked a little bit on the whites and the gold.
They look good, man. They look so good. They look
all of
sexical.
mine.
They look so sexical.
That's good. I'm glad you think so, because my plan is to.
Do camo? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Nope, that's not.
You
what-
go, my man. You go. Come on, everybody, encourage him to do camo.
That's not, I'm not going to be peer pressure.
You can do camo.
I
You
will not do
can
camo.
Taste the camo.
I'm honestly not interested.
Taste the
I don't
goodness of the
want-
camo.
I don't want camo.
You want the camo.
I don't
You
want
want the
camo.
goodness of the camo. Just like that. We lost
Okay.
him.
So,
We lost him. Beep.
so this is the plan. Either in a Land Raider or drop pod or something, I plan on putting these 3 Blade Guard veterans
Yeah.
into a squad with these 3, 2 more basically Blade Guard veterans. All of them have mastercrafted 2 damage swords.
And
And
you,
Mario's with the double power fist.
how are you going to send them, you said? In a drop pod?
Drop pod or Land Raider.
Okay, that's cute. Who are you going to play? Sorry, I'm just curious. Asking for a friend.
And they're going to drop in on the Sons of Dawn.
My ass. What? You gonna be sons of something, man. Gonna be
Oh,
Dawn.
bros. Camo, camo, camo. Oh, camo, 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 camo,
Camo, camo.
camouflage.
Yes.
No.
Camo.
So, that is
You don't blame Ray Camo anymore.
Even
Big
though-
diamond for you.
even though I am currently, in playing a shooty army, I have big melee plans for to send my ultras against your fists, my brother.
I don't know what
Big
you're talking
melee
about.
plans, indeed.
No clue what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about somebody else. Talking to someone else. Understand it. Someone else is getting threatened. That's just fighting words. I wouldn't put up with that crap, chat. Whoever you are, just remember, Mythos doesn't take kindly to getting beat. He'll send somebody else to play you to destroy your ass. That'll
These
teach you to beat
custodians.
him. Here, Oni, you're going to have fun. I'm going to have fun watching you. I mean, this is going to be a great game. You're going to really enjoy playing 10th.
I really just gave it to him because it was an army he was comfortable with.
All right. That's good enough. I got enough to edit. I need to, well, I'll flatten that later.
I have vehicle templates I got camo templates for vehicles and capes. Like I said, I do have boop. So I do have this brand of airbrush templates for use for with Gundam stuff, but will it show up here? No, just very, very barely. But I had bought these for use on my brother's BattleTech minis. Will it show any better out of the packaging? No, not even a little. Anyways, so they're like a digital kind of camo. Ooh, that looks cool. They're like a digital kind of camo pattern. The only thing is that I can only get one color out of them. Because once I spray the flat and then the one color, if I go to spray on it again, it's just going to cover up what I've already done. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I'm thinking I might do either maybe black with gray spots, but I'm not going to go full camo.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to go disappear in my camo. I'll be back later. Be good.
Pretty much. Like, hey, look what happened, freak! I just went to bed, and all of a sudden, I woke up, and I decided to do this. And I'm like, oh god, I'm doing shit again.
I'm telling you, I'm not interested in camo. I'm going to do one color camo.
One color. Okay.
Also, you know, I like my stuff to look kind of simplified. If I get too many colors on a Space Marine, I think it looks, you know, not my taste. Yeah. You just gave me a dumb, great idea for an orc tank rainbow camo. Nice.
Ooh.
You know, funnily enough, I love tons of colors on orcs. I feel like they have a different vibe than Space Marines. Speaking of Space Marines, oh hey, we got the Misadventures of Mr. Fish. Happy flippin' Friday!
Wog to you all, my friends. Wog. Sorry. I can't wall like Mythos. Sorry, I'm just terrible at it.
Kaiju, my brother. If you pay
Kaiju?
Kaiju.
Is that Australian Jesus?
Australian Jesus.
You're a girl, your hair out, man?
You asked him that last time. The answer was yes.
Oh, okay. You know me, I asked CRS. I can't remember shit. Can't remember.
He says if you paint the camo too well, you'll never be able to find them again. Where did I put those?
Dang it, the camouflage so good. Goodly.
Every time I say I can't find something on my desk, Superfly's just like, well, maybe if you cleaned your desk.
Don't.
The funny thing is, he's not wrong. Every time I do lose something and clean my desk, I find exactly what it was I was looking for. Speaking of which, here's on to the newest thing I can't find. I was going to put my Redemptor together, and this is annoying the crap out of me. He's missing one shoulder back plate for his power pack, and I cannot find it anywhere. So I hope I can find it. I'd hate to have to, you know, go bit shopping just for this one power plant part. And the funny thing is I don't even think that's a part I can 3D print, because usually if you look, try to 3D print a power pack or whatever, it's just like one solid chunk. You know, this armor piece isn't going to be there.
Really? What is that on the
Redemptor? Yeah, I'm gonna find me I might have to eBay that bit.
Well, don't do that. Dude. That is that's not a printed, right? That's actual.
Yeah, this is the plastic.
What's that?
Yeah, this is the official plastic kit.
Let me see if we can find it. Let's look for it together, and if not, then yeah, go ahead and resort to I'm not against that. I'm just saying if there's a possibility that we can get it for you without you having to spring it, you know. Just saying. I'm just saying.
All right, brother. I've got a lot of talking to do while we paint. I'm gonna grab me a Coke Zero real quick.
Okay, can you get me one too?
Yeah, I'll grab you.
Appreciate it. That big precious needed with you. Talking with the beautiful people. Woo! So I've been being a hell of a troll lately to my family. Yep, that's a thing I do. Every now and then I get a wild hair up my ass, and I have not taken my ADHD supplement. So I do. Bye night. Oh, you know what? Let me check. Make sure that that came through. Let me look here. Yes, it did. It actually came through. So if you're still there, yeah, so I did receive your information, and we're going to reach out to you, okay? So all good, my man. Got it. So thank you so much for submitting that, and like I said, we'll keep in touch, and we'll let you know, each process and what we're doing, and But man, you have a good night, my man. But yeah, so my dumbass, I get these wild hair up my ass sometimes, and somehow I came across this video, and it's I don't even know how I never discovered it before, but it's an old video. It's about 12 years old. And if you've heard of it, just let me know, okay? Taste the Biscuit. The dumb freaking video. It looks like so Napoleon Dynamite-ish. I promise you. It looks like something right out of Napoleon Dynamite. And it's this older guy and older lady. The guy is sitting down on looks like a little toy keyboard, whatever, and he's just jamming out. He's just doing this, and it looked like they're in a clothing store or like in maybe a resale shop, and then she's on a mic, and she's just, really, she thinks she's on Broadway. But the thing is, the song makes absolutely zero sense. It's an absolute train wreck, but that has gone viral because that's how cheesy it was. Anyway, so it's very repetitive and is one of those earwig kind of songs. So I decided, you know what, this is so great, I have to share it. So my wife came home from work one day, and I said, hey, check this out. And I played it, and she's just staring at me. All of a sudden, you can see, like her right eye start to kind of, twitch a little bit. And I said, so what do you think? She was like,
Yep.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Got it, bro. And so she said, why do you do that? Why? I just wanted to share it with you. So then talked to her for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. She went to go get, changed. She comes running out of the room. I can't get that stupid song out of my head. Why? Of course, me being me, said, mission accomplished. And so every now and then I'll send that, and I went to the doctor yesterday, and I hadn't really shared, some of the findings or whatever with my other daughters. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to start it off with, hey, I'm sending this message to, my wife and my girls, all girls are all grown up. And so I just went in and I said, hey, I just want to let you know that I haven't really discussed, the results of the doctor visit, and this is pretty much what we got out of it. And I played the song in the background, and I'm just sitting there, just sure enough, my wife sends me a message. I hate you so much right now. And my oldest daughter was like, what? Why? What is this biscuit? What's wrong with you? It's great. It's great. It's great. Made my night. So yeah. Yes, very much so. Yep, loved every freaking minute of it, my friends. Love it. Anyway, so yeah, welcome back, Methus.
Thank you. I will remember you.
Right? Yeah. It's very possible it may not be seen again.
When Vine was a thing.
I remember
Back in the
Vine.
day.
Yeah, good old
I think
Vine.
his compilation is on TikTok now, but back from the Vine days, goes all the way back to then, was this husband who kept doing stupid stuff, making a ad, and then
yes.
listen to the I will remember you.
Yeah, that was the EB family. Yeah, they're on Facebook now and YouTube, but mostly Facebook. Yes. They would be arguing in the car, and all of a sudden he turned around to his wife. He goes, "You know what? You're just like your... And she goes, say it. Mother, I will remember. He's pretty much dead in his car with a suit.
Another one was do these pants make me look fat? No, they look great. You didn't even look. I want you to tell me the truth. Well, I mean, they kind of. I will remember.
Another one was, are you mad at me? No, sorry, yeah, are you mad at me? No. You sure? Yeah. Okay, good, because I thought, I will remember. Those are all good.
No, it's the everything is fine.
All right.
The trap.
That's the trap. Are you sure? Fine. Okay, get out.
All right, gloss down so I can do Marnius's decals in a little bit.
Do it.
Kind of need the airbrush to take the intercessors to the next step, so I think I'll work on my tacticals. I sent you an art of the week that's camo mythos. Camo is easy.
Camo.
Telling you, I don't want to get
Camo. Who doesn't like camo, Tom? I mean, camo. What'd I say? Camo.
That looks great, brother. Really great job, hell child. I'm going to... Let's see if I have permissions. No. Post disabled screen sharing. Okay.
Oh, I did get his information, so the
Awesome.
information came through. So I got all that. Drop form works just great.
Did you send out the address and whatnot yet?
What's that?
Did you send him the address?
No. It just came through. I just hadn't had a chance to reply yet. So
Cool. That's
I just need to see, I have to read it. I have to see what form of communication he wants, because that was one of the questions. You know, how would you like to be contacted? You want to be by email, by text? You know.
okay.
I just want to be respectful of every person that, you know.
Yeah.
Some people like email. Some people like, you know, text. Some people just say, yeah, don't even call me. I'm just sending this because I feel like it. You know, like, okay, weirdo. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start putting some color down on these ultras. I guess the next colors to start going in on after. I was going to say gold, but I think black should be the next step. I say this in question form as if I haven't already painted, you know, more than 1,000 points of Space Marine. Okay. Yeah, we'll do black. It's not a trap if you kick in the door and keep going. It's true. We're going to talk about some of the changes for balance this week.
A lot of changes. They went hard on the changes too.
Lots of changes indeed. And so we're going to start with, so as we typically do with a lot of the news, we're going to focus mainly on armies that we play or favor in some way. And being that what we have the most of is Space Marines, we're going to start with Space Marines.
Yay.
Also fans here of Orcs. I love Imperial Guard. And so we may cover some of the other factions that we play. I have an Admech army that I haven't played in years. I haven't played them once in 10th, but the thing is, I mean, not 10th, 9th edition. The one thing is that I felt like their 9th edition rules were so convoluted, I didn't even use any of their rules outside of their data sheet. or stratagems. If they had some kind of Imperial Guard all the way, brother Atlas. By the way, and we have been talking. We mentioned a couple times an escalation league. I still need to do the intro video for that. But we got an escalation league coming up, and brother Atlas is my teammate for the escalation league. Brother Lars, we've seen him in some of our old battle reports, and sometimes he's here in the chat on a Friday night. He is Freak's partner in the escalation league, and Atlas and Lars will be taking the first game of the league tomorrow. So it'll be cool to hear some updates on the league.
Yeah, and we need to reschedule ours here soon. So.
Oh yeah, man, I'm ready.
Let's see. Maybe we can maybe get together sometime next week.
That sounds good, brother.
During the week, just come by.
Heck yeah. So, yeah, so we'll keep you guys updated on that when we hear some news. Brother Atlas, if you would be so kind as to
rewind
and take lots of pics when you get a chance, that'd be great. Also, I told Freak Atlas, I don't think I've mentioned to you, I've got to wait until I get some cash handy to reorder yours and Freak shirts, because y'all wear the same size. The company, and I've had problems here getting packages before, the company that I ordered yours and Freak channel shirts from said that they delivered y'all's shirts, and that they have a confirmation from when they GPS tracked it here to the apartment complex.
Wow.
But I never received it, so I think sometimes the packages here at our apartments come to the right address, which is the only thing they track. The only thing they track is like the GPS location, which will show them here at the apartment complex. But sometimes they get delivered to the wrong apartment. So, anyways, so it's just a loss for me there, because the dispute didn't pan out, because they said, well, we've got proof we delivered it to the right address. But anyways, I got to reorder the shirts, and so that's why your shirt hasn't come in yet, brother. But
oh man, it sucks, dude.
But
sorry that you're going to have to go through that crap.
It's all good, but it's got to come out of my pocket now to get a new one, so I'll just have to grab it whenever I get the funds. But you are still officially part of the channel, Atlas. It's just going to take a hot minute for your stuff to come in. Okay, so some core changes. The first change we're going to talk about is the change to devastating wounds. It's a small but important change. Devastating wounds no longer cause mortal wounds. They are now just unsavable wounds. Saves of any kind cannot be made. And some people will say, well, what's the difference? And it's a very small but very important difference. See, whenever you deal mortal wounds, each wound is considered its own source, and therefore it splashes over onto remaining models. So if I did, or you know what, I'm not going to make Freak the victim here. If Freak did 12 mortal wounds to my Terminator squad, well, each Terminator has 3 wounds, and so each wound would splash over to the next model, so it would effectively kill 4 Terminators, right? But let's say he's using some big ass cannon that does 12 wounds, maybe from his Imperial Knight. Well, his big ass cannon hits me for 12 wounds. If it's just 12 no save wounds, then I can kill off one dude and leave the other Terminator still alive.
Right, there's no splash over.
Right, but if it's 12 mortal wounds, it's going to spread over and just wipe, 4 Terminators. So, a very important difference. Uh, well, they should stand out if somebody is walking around in them. Oh, if somebody's
somebody's got the shirts. Yeah.
Hey, that's my frosted fish shirt. No, it isn't.
I bought these with my own money. Where? Got it at Walmart. Bull crap! Come here.
That would be funny for someone to try to dispute it.
Could you imagine? Yeah, it'd be like, no, officer, really, we have a channel. I say kidnap them, force them to watch all of our videos.
Oh, you a fan? You a fan? You gonna watch them?
You gonna watch them now? This is terrible. Hey, you wanted the shirt.
What? I thought
Nobody told you.
I can't tell if you guys are a mini painting channel or if you guys just talk about Chippendales all the time. Yes.
Yeah. It's a thing. Shut up and watch it.
This show is really bad. Keep watching. All right. So next change is kind of a rough one. And it's not just for Space Marines. If I said, this is not a great change, some people might be like, boo-hoo, Space Marines. No, this is not a great change for a lot of us, I think. But it's units that have that can change the cost of your stratagems, right? Mm-hmm. So for Space Marines, it's largely captain models, but lots of armies have a model with this mechanic. And what the change is that you can only use them for stratagems that are considered battle tactic stratagems. Here's your ox. You'll need it later.
A little plushie. To drop that.
Oh, and I said lots of armies have at least a model that does this kind of thing. In the Imperial Guard, it's Ursula Creed. Yeah. So you'll only be able to use stratagems that are specifically battle tactic stratagems. And so that means you got to be a little more careful which stratagems you pick and whatnot. And a lot of people are saying that this is bad news for captains. It's going to give people less of a reason to take captains. I'm not sure I agree with that because some of the best ones to use are still battle tactic stratagems. Mm-hmm. Like Armor of Contempt, to reduce your opponent's armor piercing is a really good one that you can still use in your opponent's turn. Being able to do things like Honor the Chapter in melee, or Storm of Fire in your shooting phase, those are still really good ones. I think you'll still get value out of them. Now, what are you losing? You do lose a lot of the other options. Overwatch is a huge one. Getting free Overwatch is awesome, and honestly, that's why they put a command point cost on it to begin with, is because they don't want free Overwatch. So I kind of agree with that. In fact, they even took away free Overwatch with the Tau at one point, which, I bitched about until they did it, so I'm glad they took it out for the Tau. But yeah, so a lot of people were relying on free Overwatch or double Overwatch, where they would use Overwatch on one squad and then come over to the captain squad and then use the free Overwatch on them. So I think that's maybe a necessary kind of change, because that could be a lot of DACA you're doing in your opponent's turn if you're using the free stratagem combo like that every turn. So I think maybe that's a little more balanced, that one's one that you can't use anymore. And I think a lot of the good ones, some of the go-to ones, are still available in the Battle Tactics section. Now, I don't know about the Imperial Guard ones or any of the other factions, really, because I have gotten to know some of the stratagems I play with my other armies, but I always lose track of which ones are Battle Tactics stratagems, which ones are defense stratagems, which ones are what. So that is definitely worth looking into. If you have somebody in your army that does give you some free CP stratagems, then definitely check that out. The towering change is another core change that happened here. Instagram is overlapping fields of fire, still A+. Hey, there you go. Getting in that extra AP. That's going to be awesome. That's still a good a go-to option. The towering change, not really relevant for Space Marines, but it is relevant in the game. Now only aircrafts can get the ability with towering that allows you to shoot over terrain. So before, Imperial Knights could shoot over the top of terrain if they were taller than it, and you could still see line of sight down onto units on the other side. Now that makes ruins more credible as protection to be able to hide behind them from things like Imperial Knights. Aircraft, however, are flying over the battlefield, so it makes sense that they're still able to shoot over them. I think it's a good change. The other change is that if the towering unit, like a knight, is towing into terrain, then it can shoot things in the terrain, which makes sense. Or on the other side. So it is funny to think of an Imperial Knight like towing into terrain, but I could see where, it's a change that can be a little helpful. But also, like, the Imperial Knight can still be on the other side of that terrain, getting the cover, and then going into it. This is a better change for like melee melee knights, like your paladins and lancers. Less of a good thing for things like your crusaders and your shooting knights. All right. Next page of me notes here. Infantry units. We're going to talk about some of the nerfs first. Obviously, everybody likes to focus on the bad before we get into the good. So we're just going to go ahead and knock those out of the way and end on the positive note. So here, with the nerfs, infiltrators got a 10-point tax, or up cost. So they were 90 points. They're up to 100 now. That's an 11% difference. Stern Guard veterans. A lot of people really were enjoying Stern Guard veteran. Even I've started looking for some Stern Guard veteran models myself. I like the look of them. And their ability to do mortal wounds is pretty cool. Oh, well, now it's not mortal wounds. Now it's going to be unsavable wounds. But their ability to do the devastating wounds is pretty cool. And I thought there'd be some cool models to paint up. They go up to 110. They were 105. That's not too big of a deal, I think, because, for being able to put out unsavable wounds, it's pretty handy, I think. So yes. I think it's not too bad. Terminator Assault Squad went up to 205 where they were 200.
I like the Terminator Assault Squads, man.
5 points is not a major nerf.
No, it's not a showstopper.
I wonder if they're setting up to eventually sell a Terminator Assault Squad.
That sounds like it.
The new Primaris size Terminators didn't get nerfed, and on top of that, they have more character support, which is weird because they're both Terminator squads. Just one of them gets equipped with melee weapons, one of them gets equipped with, power fists and bolters, right?
Right.
And so it's like, there's not a huge difference between these Terminator squads. Why can certain Primaris leaders lead regular Terminators, but not the Assault Squad?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's an odd choice. And so I would like Terminators, Assault Terminators to get some love. But as a Space Wolf player, I love my Hammer and Storm Shield Terminators. So, or actually, even my White Scars are all Lightning Claw Terminators. So I think I use more Assault Terminators than anything. I think my Imperial, my Ultramarines are my first Power Fist, Thunderhammer. Power Fist Stormbolter Terminators that I've actually used. Let me go back over here. And specifically, I did that because in the book series No Fear, the Terminator guard that protects Gilliman at all times, is the bodyguard kind of squad, is called the Invictus Guard, and they're all in cataphractii armor. And they follow him around the whole book, and they're kind of like a major plot point, like whether or not he has the protection of his cataphractii guard around him, the Invictus Guard. And so that's why, even though they're smaller than the new Terminators, why I've chosen to put my Terminators all in this cataphractii style.
Makes sense.
You mean you love your relic weapons, right? Space Wolves don't get great weapons? And he does the crying face. Yeah, unfortunately. But on the Terminators, though, you can still take the Assault Terminators instead of taking the Wolf Guard Terminators. So you can get your Thunderhammers instead of having generic relic weapons. I hate the relic weapons change. Okay, I'm supposed to be painting while reading all this stuff, so. But, yeah, the troops still, even though these infantry units are nerfed, they still look pretty good, and it's only really 3 points nerfs for the infantry, so. But now here's the buff units for infantry. Now, remember I was just saying a minute ago, the Assault Terminators are getting nerfed a little bit, and they don't have as much character support. The new regular Terminators, the Primaris-sized Terminators, they're getting discounted from 205 down to 190. Very nice. Aggressors are getting a discount, 110 points to just a flat 100 points for 3. It's looking more tempting than ever to take aggressors, especially now that all their weapons are twin linked. So now they've got a pretty good chance of damaging, the higher toughness targets, because they're getting those free rerolls to wound. So, whereas I think a lot of Space Marine melee falls down because anything above toughness 8, it's really hard to wound in combat. Having to rely on 5s and 6s to wound in combat. But the fact that they are getting 3 rerolls to wound on everything means even their basic bolters on their fists are going to be more efficient at tougher things. That's a change that I like. And down to just 100 points for 3 of them, looks good. Blade Guard veterans. I freaking love Blade Guard. They're not the strongest thing because their power swords are only strength 5. They're not amazing in combat. Their durability is pretty nice. But I'll be honest with you, most of what I love about the Blade Guard is the way they look, with their shields and their swords and whatnot. Admittedly, it's just an aesthetic thing I like. And I am painting up some. They're strength 5, I think damage 2 for being mastercrafted. So they're not bad. They're definitely, I think, not as efficient as like having Terminators in combat. So even though I was talking a lot of noise about sending a squad of 5 Blade Guard with Marnius Calgar at Freak earlier, it's not going to be great, but I think it looks good. And now that you can get your base squad of 3 for 90 points, it's not bad. 30 points a model is not amazing, but for 3 guys, it's pretty for 3 guys. But yeah, it's nice to have them a little bit cheaper. A lot of people are saying Assault Centurions, one of the biggest discounts at the moment, are going to be more usable than ever. Assault Centurions, they say that where Terminators are the current go-to for your heavy hitters in melee, with a little bit of shooting option. A lot of people saying the gap has been closed because Assault Centurions are now 150 points, 25 points down from 175.
They used to be very expensive. That's why a lot of people didn't take them so much.
Yeah, they're now much cheaper than they have been lately. And so it might be a good time for anyone who has some Assault Centurions. I had printed off my first Centurion body before my printer went out. And so I wasn't sure how I was going to arm him. I had considered las cannons, because las cannons are so good now, which I may still do. Might be might go the Assault Terminator or the Assault Centurion route. But the thing is that, I've got the files, so I could really, oh my gosh, that squeak there. I could really just print out whichever ones I want. If I want to do multiple squads, I can do multiple squads. Speaking of las cannons, there's my tactical las cannon. That's going to be popping out my Rhino hatch. The next discounted squad is another big discount of 25 points. Is Vanguard Veterans with jump packs. So I almost wonder, this is almost like an olive branch, because a lot of people, myself included, were really upset that the Vanguard Veterans had all their special weapons taken away and were just given your very generic relic weapons. Or as I like to say, because they're so much worse than they used to be, I feel like they're less relic weapons and more just straight up antique weapons. Straight up damage 1, AP 1 weapons. They're basically glorified chains. Maybe they're damage 2, but I think they're just damage 1. You know what? Let me look right now. I'm going to make myself upset all over again. Let's look this up. I don't want to give you all false information.
Mythos gets pissed off live on stream.
I'm not pissed.
I'm not pissed. Screw those guys.
I'm just disappointed.
Wow, that's even worse. I'm not mad, son. Just disappointed.
Data sheets. Vanguard Vets. Melee weapons. Heirloom weapons. That's what they're called. Heirlooms.
Heirlooms.
Yeah, that's right. I had it right. -1 AP, 1 damage. Strength 5. Yeah, glorified chainswords with one more strength.
That's crazy.
So it's like, oh, what are they equipped with? Oh, it looks like they've got some cool axes and swords and hammers and claws. No, it's all just a strength 5 chainsword.
Wow.
It's very, very disappointing. Like, why? Why would I pay for that in my list? But apparently, some people have had success with them. But I just can't see the point of taking strength 5 chainswords against anything. So quiet. Yeah, it's a bit of a quiet night. That's actually why I wanted to do a bit of a paint chat tonight, because I like to cover the points cost when we get balance updates. But I was telling Freak earlier that, sometimes the chat's a little quieter when we talk about some of these points updates and balance updates, which is fine. Just a chill night for us to paint and have a bit of a and plus, a little bit of my own greed here, but I fell a little bit behind not doing any painting this week, so I'm trying to stay on board with the challenge here.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Well, in so many things, I got a ton of projects that I got. So, luckily, this battle report was one of them, and that got taken care of. Got a couple other recording projects that I need to do. Oh, excuse me. No, there it is.
All right. Moving on to the next bit of notes.
Moving right along.
Other things that got buffed. Intercessors got that taken down 10 points, discounted to 85 points. There were 95. Man, and I was already saying they're my favorite line troop choice, and they continue to be my favorite now that I can take them for only 85 points.
Well, you know why they're doing that. They got the new intercessor line that's coming out, the assault intercessors.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we have several variants of intercessor now, so
sure.
I'm
glad they're cheaper though. I love it. Love the sculpts. Love how they look.
Yeah, intercessors I think are some of my favorite looking.
Yeah.
Space Marine troop choices. And like I said, I love that their bolters are AP1.
Yeah.
I love that you can take a power weapon. And then let's talk about that for a minute, because that's another thing I'm thinking. No, I'll wait till we get to the appropriate section.
Wait, we have a section?
I've got notes on all these points.
Ah, okay. You're trying to be all profesh.
I say, I'm trying to be a little bit professional.
I'm good, man. Hey, just roll with it, man.
I'm finding myself constantly painting off camera because I'm trying to look at the notes and paint at the same time.
Oh, don't do that. That's how mistakes are made.
That's why.
Then you'll be really mad. Then people will see Mythos throw stuff on live on stream, and
That's why I'm doing simple stuff, like just putting black down on my armors and stuff like that.
Okay.
Intercessors.
Bad things about my fists.
Assault intercessors also 10 points down to 80 points. I think
Nice.
it's cheaper than ever for intercessors.
Nice.
Heavy intercessors down to 105 points. It's a 5-point discount. Incursors, they get a 5-point discount down to 85 points. Infernus Marines down to 85 points. Oh, you know what? I was thinking on do Infernus Marines do they get the AP1 like intercessors do? Oh wow, we had some chat pop off since chilling out with my homies. Miniature Paintbrush. Good evening, TMP baby.
Hey.
Mini Warma, I've been making a paint challenge update with you two in the background for a bit. Nice, thank you. Thanks for
Dude, that freaking bird you painted was unbelievable. Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, brother Rob. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm like, oh jeez, dude, really? You painted a freaking bird, a life-size ass bird. Looks real as hell. My God, I can't do that. I try to draw a chicken, and it looks like a busted up dinosaur.
Roxy says, professionalism is why I come here.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I like Roxy.
Marcos Castellanos, good evening, my brother. Good to see you.
Hello. I saw, I don't know where I saw it. Not there. No.
I'm painting off camera again. Okay. Infernus Marines, do they get the AP1 like intercessors do? Because I was like, I have no use for it all Flamer Squad, but actually, if they have AP1 on them, they might be worth looking at.
Yeah. Definitively, positively.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they had like AP2?
Don't call me names.
Nah, they're still no, it's close combat.
Okay.
Pyroblast, yeah, still AP0.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that's why I wasn't interested when they came out.
AP0 weapons, yeah.
I have no belief in AP0.
Yep, you keep preaching that, buddy. You've always been saying
I love the idea of incursors and infiltrators, and then I find myself always disappointed when I shoot at stuff with my AP0 weapons.
Yeah.
Only when I'm playing Space Marines, though. For some reason, when I'm playing Guard, my AP0 las guns, I guess because there's so many shots, but my AP0 las guns in Guard usually seem to do something.
Yeah.
I think it's just numbers at that point. Same thing when I was playing AdMech, although they've changed so much since then, so I don't even know if it's still the same way. Let's see, Reavers are down to 85 points. I've only played mine once since I bought them, but I enjoyed them. So I always talk noise about them, but the fact that their pistols are strength 5 AP1, got these big ass bolt pistols.
Their pistols, really? They get that?
Yeah, don't you remember the time I used them? And I kind of
Dude, it's been so long since I played against your stupid Reavers. I like their aesthetics. I love the
their
way they
aesthetics
look.
look good. Yeah.
But I remember I was gonna get some, and you were like, "Don't get that crap."
Well,
What?
it's crazy because they're bolt carbine builds. They're bigger bolters. Have
Right.
AP0, but
Right.
if you take the Malay ones, their big ass bolt pistols are like magnums that are straight by
That's-
AP1.
That's so weird.
And so yeah, but their Malay is still AP0. So like
Okay.
there's so much AP0 on them, but their pistols at least are decent, and their mobility is pretty good.
Right.
Scouts, a lot of people loving the Scouts, and of course, this is so temporary, so I don't even know if it's worth mentioning. But they're getting a 5-point discount down to 65, super cheap. That's about what they used to charge for tactical marines. You know?
Yep.
5-man squad for 60 points.
Well, I like that they're coming out with a new scout sculpts, man.
Yeah,
Those
no,
things
that's
are
what I was
so
saying. Is I think that's such a temporary thing there, because they're getting rid of these scouts and they're bringing in the Primaris scouts, right?
Sure.
Which look great. They look phenomenal. In fact, I don't even use scouts now on them.
I love the way the new ones look, man. You know, it's kind of funny. It's I think this is just typical human behavior, but you know, when I first heard, oh man, they're going to be doing away with the firstborn and all that, I'm like, man, you sons of cannot believe you guys are going to do this crap, man. I'll be honest with you. I basically was Y2K'ing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. That's exactly what it's like. You know, have that same reaction that everybody did with Y2Ks. Oh no, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be horrible. You know, the world's gonna end. You know, I'm not gonna like it. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. No, it wasn't.
Were you a Y2K Doomsday guy?
No, I really wasn't. I was cautious, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal because logically, it didn't make any sense. People try to make it make sense, but it didn't make sense. But you know, of course, you know, we were always like, "Oh, be at the ready." Okay, and then when nothing happened, we're like, "Okay, you guys are stupid." So yeah, but anyway, that still, I mean, I was still concerned. You didn't know what was going to happen, you know. But I mean, long and short, I mean, honestly, I felt like, oh man, they're screwing with, you know, my first love of Warhammer here, and it really wasn't. They did a great job because you can still play them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I love these new sculpts, man.
Yeah.
These new, oh my god, these new intercessors, these assault intercessors.
Oh,
It's so sexical.
I love intercessors and assault intercessors, and I think they've done a great job.
So Assault Squad, my Assault Squad was one of the first ones that I got when I started collecting, when I started, you know, playing. It was one of my first airbrush endeavors. And when I saw those, oh my gosh.
Jump pack intercessors.
Oh
man.
my gosh, yes, dude. They look so good.
I told him because that was his first airbrush work, he's got to do a then and now
Hell yeah.
video when he paints up the new jump pack guys.
I'm gonna, man. That's just so gorgeous. Oh. But yeah, man.
I'm gonna catch up on the chat here.
Yeah, you do that.
When Freak draws a chicken, it turns into a nugget.
Yes, that's exactly what not even a good one, you know, not even one of those, it's like a chicken, it's like a McNugget instead of, you know, one of the good ones.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the McNugget, okay?
It's definitely not Chick-fil-A. Just saying.
Oh my God, you're one of those people.
What do you mean, those people?
One of those people. You're one of the fancy pantses.
Actually, no. I like Raising Cane's chickens strips.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, everybody makes a big deal about Raising Cane's, and I think the sauce is great, but without the sauce, it just tastes so plain.
No, it don't. It's
so
juicy. They're so juicy. It's
They're
like
juicy and
if you-
unseasoned.
Oh, no, they're not. They're absolutely
so
amazing.
unseasoned.
They're delicious.
They
man.
remind me
Of goodness. I know. Me too.
I'm gonna come out and say it. Raising Cane's reminds me of when I worked at Ryan's Steakhouse.
Okay.
They started changing the menu to cut back on all the seasoning because the crowd was turning over to an older crowd that didn't want salt.
They have salt? They have salt on their chicken.
So unseasoned.
Which ones have you gone to? Don't tell me all of them, because you couldn't have been to all of them.
When I worked in Greens Point, I went to the one in Greens Point.
No, okay.
And the one here in Kingwood.
Really? The one here in Magnolia is actually amazing.
I'll try
Super
it.
juicy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that's the only reason why I like it, because you know me, I like seasoned food. I don't like bland shit. I can't stand bland.
I get so frustrated with bland food.
I can't do it. I can't do bland. So, with that said,
Roxy says, I'm going to trust Mythos' Thai palate. Thank you, Roxy.
Dang it.
And Hellchild says, Cane's is as bland as paper.
Yeah, all right. I'm getting outnumbered here. Whatever. I just like chicken, you know? Oh, speaking of chicken. Woo. We had some good chicken. Love me some crunchy palo loco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a picture of that.
Oh, so good.
I mean,
so freaking good. We went to Hearts. We usually, every time we meet for lunch, we usually go eat at the Chinese buffet at Mythos little town. And this time I was like, man, dude, I'm in the mood for some chicken, dude. I want to tear up some yard bird. And so there's a Hearts that's just right next to the Chinese buffet that we usually go to. And, oh man, it was so good. Oh no, I made a mess. No. Save it. But it was so good, man. We tore up that Yardbird. Yeah, I ate so freaking much, dude. I did not eat anything that night. I did not. I skipped dinner.
It was so good.
Bro, it was, oh yeah, it was. Oh man. Dude, it was just, And they had all the gizzards. God, okay. So I love gizzards. Just straight up say it. I love freaking gizzards.
Thai people love gizzards too.
Dude, Hearts makes them right. I mean, sponsored, not sponsored. Hearts, if you hear us, we won't be opposed to you sending us a couple of box of gizzards, cooked to perfection. Just saying. But man, oh dude, Hearts gizzards are so freaking good.
Korean fried chicken, man. I have been wanting to try Korean fried chicken, and you got to let me know where, because I sometimes work in your town, so you got to let me know if there's a Korean fried chicken spot to try while I'm in town.
Who's that? We're at
Banchan. I'll make note of this. Hold on. I'm holding up the entire stream. Put this note in my phone, because the true KFC. Korean fried chicken.
Man, I still have to do my video for ProAcryl.
Oh, yeah.
Man, there's so much crap I gotta do.
It's like crack. Thank you for hooking me up with that knowledge. Freak, you're taking me where you wait. Hey, man, whenever you come down, freaking out.
Who that?
Together.
Who that say?
Brother Thomas.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Dude, they got a heart. They should have hearts over there where you're at.
Hey, we got.
I don't think that's a Houston thing, is it? Well, well, the one over there in Key was pretty good. And then there's one on 45 that's pretty decent too that I used to go to.
I used to not trust that restaurant chain, because one time, me, Razzie, and Cloud went there. We were having a role playing night. We were using the Mage the Ascension from White Wolf. We were having a role playing night. Raz was our GM. Cloud and I were playing, and for the entire group, we went and got the three of us went to Hearts, and we got up this huge thing of it was like a 16-piece bucket or whatever. Yeah, we picked up one of those, but it was like half an hour before closing, and they had already started shutting everything down.
Oh no!
And so they're like, well, we're technically still open, so we got to make your order. You just got to give us like 25 minutes to cook it. And we're like, okay. Which means they still had to reheat the fryer. They like really started shutting down early, and it was like a Saturday night that we were doing this game. And I get it. We were there 30 minutes before closing, and we weren't trying to make them cook anything, but I didn't expect them to be shut down and wiped out.
Right.
And we called and placed the order, so we had no idea. But anyways, so they told us when we got there, yeah, we had already shut everything down, so we had to turn everything back on. Apparently, they didn't let their oil get hot enough because that stuff was heavy, like because it didn't come up to temperature enough.
Right.
It didn't fry correctly, and everything was heavy with grease.
Oh no!
And on top of that, there were some of the thicker pieces were just like still raw on the inside, and it all had that funky like like when you half-ass cook chicken, it's got that like weird smell.
God, dude, no!
Like almost like a spoiled smell, and it was just. I put off Hearts for years until you took me to lunch over at that place on 45 the one time. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, I guess when you don't piss off the night shift, that's actually
They probably give you that old nasty, rotten chicken that's been sitting up in the tubs. Ugh.
So, yeah. After that, I've been on board whenever you said, hey, let's go to this place.
One of our favorite places to go, Palo Loco. Oh. So Palo Loco is a great alternative to chicken because everything is grilled. Literally grilled. They
good.
Oh man,
And
they
the two here
grill.
would close down.
Huh? Are you serious? Why?
Yeah. I guess they weren't getting enough business.
Oh no, dude. You can't mess. Yeah. Don't mess with Palo Loco, man.
Yeah. Well, all we have now is Crunchy Palo Loco.
Crunchy Palo Loco. You guys wondering, like, what the hell is he saying? Palo Loco? What? Palo what? So, the Spanish, Pollo Loco, right, was the name of the restaurant. And, man, they would grill the entire side of the chicken. Oh, man, dude, that was so good. Oh, man, yeah, that's just the way to do it, man. Just so good.
Thomas says, Mage the Ascension, that brings back memories. The whole reason I'm playing a Druid second season is doing an Abomination Druid. Nice. Yeah, man, I started with White Wolf games when I got into role-playing. Like, I do a lot of D&D now, but White Wolf was where everything started for me. I started with Aeon Trinity, which I guess the sci-fi show Aeon Flux sued them, so they had to change their name to just Trinity. I don't know how they got the soul name of Aeon, even though there's a difference between Aeon Flux and Aeon Trinity. But okay, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I played it before the name change, and it was White Wolf's book about psychics, and you could be and it was like all kinds of cool psychics too. You could be a psychic over lightning. You could be an electrokinetic. You could be a psychic over fire and be a pyrokinetic. It's very X-Men-y feeling. And so I played a couple characters of that, and then from Trinity we went into Vampire the Masquerade, and from there into Werewolf. And yeah, we really expanded from there. From Werewolf, we went into all of the other shapeshifters, like the Henge Okai, So, we were able to bring in the Khan, the were-tigers and were-bears, and that's some cool stuff, man. I really love that world. And then eventually we started doing, multi-source book invitationals. So, our party sometimes would be a cool mix of like, we've got one vampire, one werewolf, one psychic. They all got to come together, and one mage. They've all got to come together and work together to save the world in this adventure or whatever. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And I love that they all exist in the same universe, so you could go as heavy into one as you want. You could have a truly like grim dark vampire game going, or you can cross universe. Werewolf games were a lot more action oriented. Mage games. Oh, also, not only were vampire games very grim dark, they were oddly political. Which was crazy. Because like their source books dealt not only with combat, but very little of it dealt with combat. But what was there was super cool. But like there was a lot of things going about, like vampire law and how to ascend as a vampire, becoming a higher and higher generation of vampire, and then like the political stuff, vampire princesses and seneschals that run cities, and a lot of political stuff in vampire. And their kind of thing is like the whole secret society kind of thing, where they do a lot of this political stuff, and then they're like, the vampires really run the world from behind the scenes,
Yeah, man. One of my favorite books was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Nice.
That was such a good book. The movie was shit, but the book was so good. Yeah, they really destroyed the movie. It was entertaining. But man,
that's what I hear is that if you are watching it for a vampire hunting movie and not for anything related to the book, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
If you're watching it as anything compared to the books, though, you'll hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
The way I felt about Aragon, because I watched the movie first and then I read the books, and so I liked the Aragon movie, and my friends hated me for it.
Yeah.
Apparently, Brother Thomas was part of the original playtesting group for Vampire the Masquerade, and he got to play the world's very first Bruya. Roxy says, I'm typically off Monday and Tuesdays. Let's hang next time you're here. Sweet. Miniatures Paintbrush. Love me some White Wolf games. Oh, so do I. So much nostalgia for them. If you come around them days. Yeah, I typically do. White Wolf was great until Hagen got bought out. I have looked through the new source books, and first of all, it could just be me being reluctant to change. But after looking through the source books, I gotta say I definitely prefer the older style. And typically, we haven't played one of these in a few years now, but in the last few times we did play the system, I did one of those multi-source book games called Storm Chasers, where it brought together a lot of the different source book elements. So I had, like I said, a mage, a psychic, a shifter, a couple of different kinds of shifters, yeah, that was fun. But we used the old source books just because I prefer the rules better. Their rules, and to me, the old lore is just more enjoyable. Oh gosh, I'm doing what people do with Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy. Oh man, the old lore is so much better. So I guess I can relate. After all. It's the lore, man, the lore. They just put out a new Aragon book after 12 years. Yes! brother Garrett was telling me about that. He is my fellow Aragon series lover in my local friend group, and he was telling me about that, and I'm like, I got to check that stuff out. And now is actually like the right time too, because I just finished the 16-book series of Gaunt's Ghosts. I freaking love that series, and I didn't want to stop in the middle of that series to read something else. Freaking love that series. And then I already started the Minkalesque series. So now that I finally got my hands on her new book, I need to finish that. And then, before I continue on with any more Warhammer stuff, I'll be knocking out the new Aragon book.
Nice.
I think I'm still not painting on camera. Okay. Have you listened to The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm yet? That's the one about, is that the Murtaugh book? No, that's the ongoing book for Aragon, right? I have not listened to it. I think I had reservations about reading that one because the series had ended so perfectly. It's 3 short stories. Okay. Is it worth listening? Is it good? Hey, apparently, Miniatures Paintbrush is also a fellow Aragon enjoyer. He says, a new Aragon, awesome. Yeah, Chad, I'm not going to lie to you. I was very hesitant to move on to a new Aragon book because I thought the ending of the original series was so well done. I was like, I'm not sure I want to stop it at this point. Or I'm not sure I want, sometimes like you finish a series that ended perfectly and then later on, sometime down the road, they put out a sequel or something like that. And you're like, I should have just ended where it was. Heard a lot of people say the same thing about Supernatural. A lot of people felt like the conclusion of the first Lucifer arc, they were like, that's the true ending. They felt like they maybe didn't do such a good job when they moved on. But who's to say? Who's to say it?
Well, apparently you are, because you're saying it.
I'm saying what people say. I liked it. The first story explains why Murtaugh is up. Oh, what Murtaugh is up to. Story 2 is all right, and Story 3 is an interesting bit of world building. Nice. Isn't Murtaugh the name of the new one? I feel like that's correct. I feel like that matches up with what I've heard. Here it says he doesn't know the name of the new one, but it does follow Murtaugh. Nice. I'm looking forward to that. I like Murtaugh. Despite things. Despite his role as a previous villain. I like it.
Hey, Mythos, off the cuff question here. What version of Vegas do you have?
14, I believe.
No, I have 14. I don't know if you. I think you may have a newer version.
I'm looking it up right now.
You may have 14. It's just I thought you may have a new. That's why I was curious. Because I'm actually thinking of upgrading. I mean, there's some better versions with more.
16. Yeah.
Oh, 16. Okay. So 20 is out, but 18 is on sale right now, and I'm actually thinking of grabbing it.
Nice.
So kind of maybe spice up my my editing a little more. Come a long way, man, with those editing tools and all those plugins and stuff. So.
Oh, forgot to mention on my pork chop earlier. I did start adding a little more paint to Valerian this week, mostly because, like, I put him on the table with Oni, and I noticed, I was like, well, since he played today, I should put a little paint on him, especially since, Valerian got some keels in. In fact, Valerian here, his freak managed to wipe out a full squad of Custodes, which was half the army on the table. So he was by himself, and then he went on and
he's
1v1 toward Garrodon.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I think I did pretty decent against against Custodes. Just dude, oh my gosh, it's tough as hell.
So and this is a temporary solution. I'm not sure what kind of head I want on this model. The model it came with had a really tall Johnny Bravo haircut that just looked. He looked very Bach 5 in Gesicht. German for he had a very punchable face. So temporarily, I've got an aggressor head on here, which I think looks really cool. I think the head I might use, I found on Colts for free the other day, was a head of Henry Cavill as a Custode. So I think when my printer gets up and running again, I will probably, I might use that head. I kind of like the idea of this aggressor head on him. Although, because a lot of people see Custodes as one-for-one, a superior soldier to Space Marines, a lot of people will probably be offended, but I think that Gravis helmet looks really cool on a Custode. Hellchild thinks he's going to do a full Space Wolves army in October, November, and December. Nice. I take it that's when Primal Hounds Kickstarter releases? Speaking of which, Atlas, I don't know if you're still in the chat, brother, but this Kickstarter I've been following for months, quite a few months, maybe more than that. Runesguard, it's a huge Imperial Guard STL Kickstarter, and I mean, they've got like things like Scions that look like the exact thing. They got a lot of guardsmen that look pretty exact. Anyways, it's a huge STL Kickstarter. And I think they're wrapping up their Kickstarter soon, so I might be getting my hands on a bunch of guards files. Which is funny, because I think I'm coming to the point of rounding out my guard. I say that, although I'll probably paint up a full sign.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you just. It's almost like you're trying to talk yourself out of it, But
I'll never truly be done with the guard.
No.
Alright, speaking of Hellchild and the Space Wolves, I got more Marine stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
The tactical squad, like the one I'm painting now, is down to 160 points from 175. That's a 15-point discount.
Yep.
Sounds so expensive for tacticals, but that's, of course, because you're locked into a 10-man squad now. But hey, at this point, with so much of the firstborn going away, I just appreciate that they're here. Although I say that, we don't play Legends.
Sure.
My tacticals ain't going nowhere. Heck, I used a Contemptor Dreadnought in our very last game. And then finished painting him. I was like, you did good today. I need to paint you.
That's so funny. That's our motivation to paint them. You know, like, you think shit. You ain't gonna paint. Screw you.
You guys ever do that? Y'all ever like punish or reward inanimate objects? You did do shit on the board today.
That's what I do. I do it. I'm not. I'm like, I'm looking at my model, like Torgaradon sometimes. I did that for a long time because he didn't have a head, right? I'm like, man, you hit it, Torgaradon. You've done absolutely nothing. Why do you deserve a head? Man, you know what? You're headless. Screw you. Absolutely useless.
And then he punched out a whole pack of Thunderwolf cavalry by himself, and he's like, "You know what? You're getting ahead now."
Yeah.
We're gonna print you ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna print you ahead. And ever since then, he's been crap, man.
I don't know, man. He punched out a squad of
oh, damn it.
Custodes. That's pretty good in my book.
Yeah, he did okay. Custodes are tough, man.
I'd love to say, the thing is that with Custodes, it really doesn't matter how well your model or you play. You really are just waiting for them to fail a 4-pin bowl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
it's just a waiting game, yeah.
What you do is kind of irrelevant. I hate to say it, but that kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
Like, you could do all the best shit. If he makes us 4-pin bowl... it can be hard to deal with. There's stuff you can do, obviously. Mortal wounds, weight of fire, but I'm just saying you can feel helpless against that kind
Pick up the models and throw them, things like that.
You say that, although we have played with someone like that before.
Right.
Oh, he died?
Mm-hmm.
Chucking full Terminators across.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, that guy's dead. Yeet! I'm like, oh my god, dude.
F him, right? It's like,
right.
Man, aren't you worried you broke your model? F him, am I right? Oh, well, okay.
That's like, man, dude. Yeah, I don't think they deserve the brunt of your PTSD, my man. Okay.
Are you singing Sanford and Son?
No, I'm actually singing along with the music in the background.
Oh.
Nah, that's how useless I am right now. Sorry.
I thought you were like going do.
No, it was the solo that came in, and I was just humming along. Yeah, I have no life. What? I need to make that white.
All right, some of the next price points. Thor is throwing a party here tonight. Really? That's cool.
What? Thor is throwing. What does that mean? I missed something.
Is that the band? Ranged units. Centurion Devastators have been given a huge discount, down to 175 points. They were 205 points before. Pretty big discount. That's what, 30 points, I think? Yeah. I can math.
get mad.
Yeah, 30 points, because 25 would put up to an even 205. I got it right. Oh, massive thunderstorm.
Understood.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do the show earlier.
And that's some more shit.
You still didn't get any rain?
No, dude, I'm serious. Where I used to live at, we used to play, just a few miles down the road.
Yeah,
dude, down power line, trees, rain forever. Why did my thing freeze? Hold on. Wait, why did everything freeze? Oh, there it goes. That was weird. And over here, nothing, just wind. I'm like, oh man.
We're so frozen right now.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, I sent him a picture of the downpour and that my apartment had no power earlier. I was like, man, I don't know if I'll make it to the show tonight because of the storm. And he's like, you gotta be kidding me. And he sends me a picture of his outside and his like bright blue skies.
It's ridiculous.
It is so crazy.
The sun was so radiating. I actually blew my retinas.
It's so crazy that we live. 45 minutes away. It's not a huge difference, and it was just so night and day. I had like literal like thunder here, lightning flashes, big booms, power out, and it's like a normal bright and sunny day we're here.
Yeah, it's crazy though. After about 30 minutes, close to 40 minutes, we started hearing thunder, and we saw some lightning. Didn't come anywhere near. Dude, I was like, oh man, this is ridiculous.
Eliminators, these snipey boys that I've been working on, and I promise I was painting these before the points drop. They are down to 75 points. That is so cheap. That is so cheap. So some good sniping power there for 75 points. You could also choose the Las Fusel version for some short range, anti-vehicle or anti-elite power. So I've got the Snipey Boys here. They're from the actual Shadow Spear box set. So they didn't come with the Las Fusel options, but I like the idea of being able to, especially since characters are in squads now, being able to plink a few points off of special characters in the open is pretty cool. With you guys know, like usually for sniping, I like to bring my Vindicare just because she looks cool. But yeah, this gives me definitely a different sniping option, and at 75 points now, that is
not bad.
A quarter of the price cheaper than bringing a Vindicare.
Yes.
Because a Vindicare is like 100 points, maybe a little more actually. Suppressors. Those are our Primaris jump pack guys with the autocannons. They have the suppressive fire ability, and they are coming in at 85 points for a squad of 3. I think autocannons in this edition are all strength 9, so some pretty good strength 9 firepower on the cheap for 85 points.
Nice.
So I have a few of those that in my Ultramarines project I need to paint up too, but I didn't add them to the challenge only because they still need to be assembled, and I want to focus on the things that are assembled and ready to go for the paint challenge. So I'll come back to it at some point. So I think Eliminators, a lot of people are saying, are one of the biggest winners out of the Space Marines balance changes, because that's a lot of points to come down and really ups their efficiency. A couple of infantry units they didn't touch at all but still are a lot of people feel are already efficiently pointed, and we're taking them to tournaments. Is Inceptors are really good. A lot of people say you can't really go wrong with them if you need anti infantry firepower. Their heavy bolters are very nice.
That's interesting because Inceptors weren't crap in Ninth Edition.
And it's just weight of shots. I think the fact that makes, that these low AP things, I think the thing that sets us off a lot,
right,
goes to some people, is that we play against Space Marines a lot.
Right.
And so anything that's AP 0, it's just, for us, it usually equates to 0 damage. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a lot of noise, mostly.
But I've been wanting to print some plasma inceptors for a while.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, your plasma is really good anti-elite. If you have some light infantry, though, the heavy bolter version is really nice. So they're still good. Eradicators are still very good, and a lot of people are still taking those. They did lose some punching power, of course, with vehicles going up in toughness, but their ability to re-roll hits, wounds, and damage against vehicles and monsters is just so good. Hellblasters are one of the things that have improved going into 10th edition, and the fact that they didn't touch their points make them even more attractive. And then assault squads haven't had their points adjusted. That makes sense because the old assault squad is leaving the codex soon, and we're going to get jump intercessors in the new codex. Here's where I'm going to bitch a little bit. All right. The Outriders are 105 points. That's a pretty big discount from 115 to 105, 10 points. Decent. The only thing is that the Outriders are not good at anything. They are good melee specifically against light infantry, I guess. Their AP1 swords are okay. They get a lot of flurry attacks of AP0 shots, or no, I think they're bolt rifles. I think AP1 shots and AP1 sword hits. But it's all strength 4 is my problem. And so anytime that you go up against anything strength, toughness 5 or better, they are really struggling. Unless you want to dedicate your Outrider target to Oath of Moments, which doesn't really seem worth it.
Right.
And so it's just like you were saying about how you feel about Bolter Inceptors.
Yes.
Outriders are a lot of fast-moving noise.
Right.
And again, if you're going up against light infantry, sure, they'll make some work of guardsmen. They'll make some work of maybe an Eldar Guardian squad.
Right.
But there's not a lot of things that's going to be effective against. And the thing that really bothers me is that in the Firstborn bikes, you could take maybe this is where they feel like they're a little bird. You could take up to 2 special weapons and a power weapon on the sergeant, right? Kind of like tacticals. You could put a power weapon on a tactical and a special weapon, right? I feel like the Outriders should still be able to do that. Why can't I, even if not the special weapon? Okay, let's say, we say all bolters, sure, whatever. Why can't Outriders take a power weapon, right? Because Intercessors are from kind of the same generation as the Outriders.
Right.
And the Intercessors get to take power weapons on their sergeants, which is one of the things that, to me, makes them so attractive. Why don't the Outrider bikes get the same weapon? Why is it because you take these same Intercessors and put them on bikes, they have to be limited to just the most basic war gear?
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
It's like, all right.
They're Intercessors on bikes.
Yeah. So I don't understand that. And to me, I think Outriders would make way more sense in my White Scars army if I could give them that little bit of extra punch of putting a special weapon or a power weapon on my bikes.
Right.
So anyway,
I mean, right now they're only good against infantry, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and really, I mean,
not even that if you're lucky.
I would say MEQs, like your Marine equivalent infantry, strength or toughness 4 or below.
Sure.
So, anyways, but yeah, they're discounted. They're purposelessness is now down to 105.
Oh my god.
Invader ATVs are at 70 points, discounted 10 points. Might make him a little more attractive to set you up a unit of Outriders in an ATV. I mean, to me, that I think is the best thing for Outriders. If you take Outriders as a bodyguard squad for your ATV, that's the best thing you could do with the Outriders. I need to get an ATV. And that's one of those things I've wanted for my White Scars army that I haven't gotten yet. I might do that in the future. All right, Primaris vehicles. The Gladiator Lancer has been nerfed up to 160 points from 145.
Yes.
Some of the Storm Speeders have been slightly nerfed. 10 points more for the Hail Strike up to 140, and the Thunder Strike Speeder is up to 170. Dreadnoughts. We've got a bunch of discounts for Dreadnoughts here. The Ballistus, your last cannon and missile Dreadnought, is now down to 150 points. That is so cheap for such a cool looking new chunky Primaris Dread. That's another thing I want. The Brutalis. I want a Brutalis as well. That cool new melee one with the double claws and the meltas in the chest. That was 220 points. It's now down to 175. Massive discount. That's a 25 plus another 20. That's a 45 point discount. That's massive. The Invictor Tactical Warsuit, which I've got Brother Atlas putting together mine that was still brand new in box, is down to 150 points, was 160. And the Gladiator Reaper and the Valiant are both down to 150 from 155. There's a small discount there. The Impulsor, everyone's, well, my favorite Primaris transport, because I've been using them with my Space Wolves lately, is down to 85 points from 95. So Impulsor, pretty solid. I think the discounts on the Dreadnoughts, very solid. I like what I see there. Some of our firstborn vehicles. ATV equals the Mario Kart. Yes. Although, if you could put a blue shell on an ATV, that would be so OP. Just one blue shell nuke bomb. The Land Raider is down to 240 from 275. Big discount. The Crusader is even cheaper, I guess because it doesn't have the last cannons. The Crusader is even cheaper. The Crusader comes in at 230 points.
Wait, Crusader doesn't have the last cannons. That's what it comes in stock.
No. The Crusader comes with the Hurricane Bolters. The regular Land Raider comes with the last cannon.
Oh, you're right. The
El Classico.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The Classico Land Raider is 240 from 275. That's a 35 point discount. Crusader is down to 230 from 255, a 25 point discount. The Redeemer, if you want all the flames, the Redeemer is down to 260 instead of 295. It still is the most expensive, but much cheaper than it used to be. So yeah. The Predator. Okay, the Predator Destructor. I think the Destructor is the version with the auto cannons. Yeah, because the Reaper Annihilator is the one with the last cannons. That's the one that we like.
Yeah.
I think both. Yeah, we both got the Annihilator because I had mine built with the double last cannons as well. My brother Atlas put that together for me too, so that'll be added into my Space Marine army. The Destructor's gone down 5 points to 130. The Vindicators come down from 205 to 190. I am in the process of printing up. Well, not really in the process, because actually the body was too big for my printer. Freak did me the solid here of printing out this chassis here. It's gorgeous looking. You can see the slot here for the main cannon, hatch for the up top, and then of course The front here, where you see these slots, that's where the big Vindicator shield goes on the front there. But yeah, that Demolisher Cannon, if you don't know if you guys have seen the stats, the Vindicator has had very all over the place history. Okay, in some editions, the Vindicator is awful, in some editions it's very good. Right now, the Vindicator is getting the same Demolisher Cannon that the Imperial Guard gets. Big D6 plus 6 damage, baby.
Wow.
So I think, or maybe D6 plus 3 shots, D6 damage. Very nice stuff. Very nice. So, anyways, I've got the chassis, and whenever I get up and running again, I'm gonna add one to my Space Marine Force, my Ultramarine thing. So the Vindicator down to 190. Very nice. The Whirlwind. Whirlwind is already seeing a lot of tournament play, and the Predator Annihilator with the 4 last cannons. Now last cannons are a big deal in the meta because there are so few weapons that can damage vehicles now. So both of those, their points remain unchanged. The Rhino has gone down to 75 points. You guys know I'm so happy with the Rhino. I painted up recently, even though it's probably a little STC heretical because mine's got wheels. But I imagine this was like a battlefield change that was made. Maybe the treads broke in on a war-torn planet. So anyways, that's down to 75 points. Makes it a little more attractive for me to take. There have been no changes to any of the classic land speeder models because they're going to Legends. So same thing as the Assault Squad. Characters. Some of the generic characters. The Captain in Gravis armor has come down to 80 points from 95, a 15-point change. A lot of people think that they probably discounted captains kind of across the board just because the change to their stratagem abilities is a little bit worse now than they used to be. But I mean, like I said, I felt like 3 Overwatches and double Overwatches was maybe a little unintentionally strong. That may not have been what they were thinking when they gave that ability to captain. You know what I mean, Burn?
Yeah.
The Reaver Lieutenant is down 5 points to 60. I really like the combination of putting a Reaver Lieutenant in with the Infiltrators, even though the Infiltrators didn't do much damage. Giving them that kind of move, shoot, move ability gave them some really good extra movement and helped me take some objectives. So first, before Freak took the center, I had them right up there at the edge of the first objective, and then when he did take the center, I just simply be able to, with the ability to use their extra movement from the Lieutenant's move, shoot, move ability, was able to just put them over on the left flank objective instead. So yeah, I mean, putting the Lieutenant in that squad really gave me some good utility. The Combi Weapon Lieutenant is down to 70 points from 80. That's a 10-point discount. And it's still kind of weird. He's still a lone operative model. Kind of weird for a lieutenant to be a lone operative, but I guess maybe that special combi weapon, doing those devastating wounds is kind of a reason you might take them. Some of the named characters. The only named character to get a nerf was Gilliman himself. Of course, he has been pretty strong, especially with his double Oath of Moment ability. And of course, there's kind of a double nerf because the strategy, like we were talking about with the other with captains, the free stratagem ability got slightly nerfed. I think it's still plenty usable, but a lot of people say that's a big nerf in their opinion. So those 2 changes are kind of a nerf for him. His points change is he went from 355 up to 380. So But everybody else, I think, is either the same or buffed across the board. Start with the Ultramarines. Cato Sicarius down from 95 to 85 points. The Primaris Psyker Tigurius is down from 85 to 80 points. Marnius Calgar, the man himself, is down to 185, and that's with his 2 bodyguards. Oh, we are at time. I'll go through this real quickly then. Uriel Ventress from 85 down to 75 points. So pretty good there. And Uriel Ventress comes with the ability to deep strike a squad of your choice. So you're getting a good ability at a discount. Adrex Agatone for the Salamanders, down 10 points from 100 to 90. Vulcan Heston is down from 95 to 80 points. Going on to the Imperial Fists, Captain Lysander is down from 115 points to 105. Might be leading those new Terminators of yours into battle.
Yeah.
Tor Garadon is down from 100 points to 90 points. So a nice little buff for both of the Imperial Fist characters. For the Iron Hands, either Iron Father Pharos is down to 95 instead of 105. For the Raven Guard, Kayvon Shrike is down to 95 instead of 105. Corsaro Khan, arguably the worst of the named characters in 10th edition. For the White Scars, is down to 75 instead of 80. It is so weird that he is one of the named characters that have been primarisized that can't go with Blade Guard veterans. Pedro Cantor for the Crimson Fists is down to 95 points from 100. And so most of these discounts make the characters more attractive. One of the developer notes is that they wanted to make the cost of these characters more attractive to make it more likely that somebody would want to pick one of these legendary heroes instead of going with the generic choice. Magnus and Abaddon both went up if we're talking about Chaos. Oh, but we are talking Chaos Primarchs. Okay, well, at least that's consistent. All 3 Primarchs have gone up. Wait, all 3? Oh, the Lion. I guess the Lion didn't get changed. But yeah, it's good that 3 out of 4 went up. Freak, send me the earworm video. I have people who need it. Oh no.
Sending it now.
And that is all my changes, everyone. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. While you're saying that, some of the big winners I think in this change are Eliminators, Vanguard Veterans, the Dreadnoughts like the Redemptor and the Brutalis. The Impulsor's pretty good.
Come on, grab your stuff. Got us a place to play. I don't know.
And most of the chapter-specific characters all seem very, very like they came out of this very well. Some of the biggest nerfs, obviously the Desolation Squads, and the captains, and yeah, those are pretty much I think the biggest losers out of this. Thankfully, though, a lot of people thought another round of indirect fire nerfs were coming. They did not. That's one good thing going for the Desolators. And I still think they do some pretty good work. For anyone watching from the archives, let us know what you think about this battle, this balance change, and how you feel about the changes represented in this. All right, Freak, any closing thoughts for the night, my brother?
No, man. Pretty much almost got this guy done. He actually, yeah. Nice. One little guy done for the night. I pretty much have them all painted up. The only thing I don't have is his eye lenses, and he's got to be matted down a little bit, but he's done, and he's got to be based. So that was fast. Yeah. Gucci. Aside from that, man, I think these. These changes are pretty decent. They weren't major. There were definitely some changes that were needed for, for some balancing. I don't think you've mentioned it, but I know Overwatch has been changed for vehicles and for like the larger, larger
kinetic units and stuff.
Yeah. So they don't get that.
Oh yeah.
Because that's ridiculous. Imagine that. That's just no. Overwatch. Hell no. I quit. Yeah. So. But anyway. But yeah.
That's a good point, brother. I did not bring that up. You are correct.
Because that's what you blew me away with in the in the battle report. So it's like, oh my God! It's like you Overwatch again. Just stop. And it again. Like I mentioned, I tried Overwatching. I really did. I tried every way to Overwatch. That you know what? My dice
fair.
is
I think I would have lost if not for the all the damage I did in Overwatch.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You definitely. The Overwatch was just the dice were definitely with you. So we don't have may the force be with you. It's may the dice be with you. Yeah.
And you know what? The Overwatch didn't change for infantry. I could still do it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust some of my tactics, like the yeet or something. I don't know.
The yeet. Oh my goodness.
But nope, all Gucci, man. Ugh.
All right, guys. Very similarly, I think some of these, even some of the negative ones, like the no more free Overwatches with the abilities from the captains and stuff like that. I think some of these most of these changes I'm pretty on board with. Am I happy to have Gilman nerfed before I've had the chance to buy him or paint him up? Not necessarily, but I still think, being that I think Oath of Moment is so strong, I think that was a necessary nerf. So yeah, I think I'm okay with most of the changes made here, and yeah, I'm hoping for I think maybe some of these changes might be short-lived for us anyways, because there's a codex coming out for us within a month, I think. So we'll see what happens there. But thank you guys for joining us on this paint and chat. You always enjoy your company. I think going over my notes, I didn't get a ton painted, but I got most of my black done on these models. So any progress is forward progress, right?
Yeah.
Forward momentum. So yeah, I'll get these guys painted in due time. I am throwing a paint chat after we're done. Here in a few minutes, I'm going to take a bio break, take the puppo out, just kind of take some care of things around the house, and then I'll throw open our Discord for anyone who wants to jump in and throw some paint around. So
sling it. Don't throw it. Sling it.
Yeet it.
Yeet. Yeah, yeet paint. Eat and yeet. Hey, I like that.
Ox time. Bow tie time. You guys rock. No, you rock, good stuff. Thank you guys. Oh, wait. Let me switch back. Do the face cam. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. If you guys liked tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments below. Let us know what you think about the balance changes, or feel free to be part of any of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And subscribe to our Friends of the Frosted and Fist below in our link tree. And if you're not subscribed to this guy and this guy, then we would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frosted Fist. So subscribe. Till next time, guys, make sure that you stay frosty.
Stay frosty!
Shake that rump.
Shake that rump! I'm shaking it.
I'm shaking it hard.